Yeah, it's the list. We wanted to have the list. Chris is not here. Chris is not here.
Okay, go ahead.
Notice of public meeting of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville. Pursuant to Chapter 551, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act, notice is hereby given that the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, in accordance with Article 5, Section 12 of the Charter of said city, will convene an executive session, a regular meeting on Tuesday, June the 5th, 2012, at 5:15 p.m. and 6 p.m. in the Commission Chambers on the second floor of the Brownsville City Hall, Old Federal Building, located at 1001 East Elizabeth Street, Brownsville, Cameron County, Texas. Executive session, item A, consultation with attorney pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.0712 on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State of Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Executive session B, consultation with attorney pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code regarding contemplated litigation. Executive session item C, consultation regarding real estate acquisition pursuant to Section 551.072 of the Texas Government Code. In executive session D, consultation with attorney pursuant to Section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code to discuss personnel matters.
Will entertain a motion?
I'd like to move to executive session.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
They're all expired. And well, she wants to be reappointed. He wants to be reappointed, I guess. Leo Rosales Rosalía. And then it's Mary Hill.
Guys, can we go ahead and get started?
Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Let's remain standing for the prayer. Father God, we thank you so much for your love, your grace, and your mercy. Lord, we thank you for this great nation that we're blessed to be a part of. And during this time, Lord, I ask you to draw the hearts of the voters to you so that you can give them discernment on who to vote for, leaders that will implement your will. And Lord, I thank you for these leaders before us here today. Lord, I ask you to give them divine direction today as they make decisions for the city of Brownsville. Lead and guide each of us in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Action on items discussed in executive session. Item A, discussion and possible action to proceed as advised by legal counsel in executive session. That's item A.
I make a motion to proceed with administration's recommendation.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B, action to proceed as authorized by legal counsel in executive session.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion to proceed as recommended by legal counsel.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item C, consideration and action on resolution number 2012-037 to authorize the purchase of the premises described as Lot 12, Service Industrial Park, designating signatories for purchase and dealing with related matters.
Move to approve.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, John.
Item D of executive session, no action required. Mayor's activity report.
There will be no report tonight.
Proclamations. Egley Elementary School, 4th grade class. Would you please come up to the dais? No.
You guys want to line up?
How are you?
Make a copy.
Welcome.
Whoever's gonna be here. I think it's Jessica.
You want to line up for us?
Hi.
Give it to Jessica, do you want to read
Want me
the
to read it?
proclamation?
Okay.
Give a copy to Jessica.
A proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, commending the Egley Elementary School and Betty Lou Ibarra's 4th grade class. Whereas Miss Betty Lou Ibarra's 4th grade class in Egley Elementary School accepted the City of Brownsville's Crayon Recycling Challenge and became Brownsville's Independent School District's top school, collecting 305.21 pounds of old crayons. And whereas these 4th graders, by collecting, learned that recycling can not only be fun, and whereas these students were able to combine all of their efforts and wound up with more than 305 pounds of crayons. Whereas these students, through their efforts, collected more crayons than all of the other schools in the Crayon Recycling Challenge competition, and whereas the students' crayon project, Recycling Can Be Fun, consisted of melting 305 old crayons, which were then donated to the daycare facilities in Brownsville and Monica's house, where they can be put to good use for those who need them the most. Now therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested in the charter of said city on behalf of all of our citizens, do hereby congratulate Egley Elementary School and Miss Betty Lou Ibarra's 4th grade class winners of this year's Crayon Recycling Challenge, and further wish the teacher and the students well in the future endeavors as they continue to strive to impact BISD and the City of Brownsville. Done on this 5th day of June, 2012. I I wanted to also mention that this challenge was done by Keeping Brownsville Beautiful. It was set forth by Keeping Brownsville Beautiful, and I wanted to I wanted to commend Egley Elementary, who is a recognized elementary school, and they had a wonderful principal this year, Ms. Christina Bridgewater, and these students are setting a very, very, very positive and strong example for the rest of the BISD children. These are future leaders who give from their hearts to others who are less fortunate, and I want to commend at this young age. This is amazing. Their parents should most definitely be recognized for raising children that are this conscious of others, and Egley Elementary for setting these students on the right path.
Okay, guys, keep up the good work and enjoyed it. Mary Lou, thank you very much.
They're super cute.
Charlie, I think you're on.
Or the employee of the month could not be here, we'll wait till the next meeting.
Okay, we'll table the employee.
Next presentation is the Brownsville Biggest Loser results.
Honorable Mayor, Commissioners, good afternoon. Essentially, we ended up this year's Brownsville's Biggest Loser Challenge with on a positive note. Not only did we achieve our goal during the Zumbatomic, we also raised awareness about the chronic diseases and the need to get our citizens on the right path as far as towards physical activity and healthy eating. The purpose of the challenge for this third annual BBL was, when it concluded, we felt was positive. We had over 1,000 individuals registered during the spring this year, which ran for 16 weeks. We also had over 2,388 pounds lost, which was an increase from last year's event. Events during the challenge were held almost every weekend, and we had many more sponsors this year than we had in previous years. Some activities to highlight a few were the Zumba at the Academy, which was very positive and well attended. Academy was a big sponsor for us this year, and they continue to be a sponsor for us in the future. We also had some prizes for children, such as bicycles that were donated by some of our sponsors. The Brownsville Trailblazers, as an example. We had a 5K 1-mile run walk hosted by the Infant and Family Nutritional Agency. Our fitness boot camp hosted by Academy and Sports Outdoors were very successful this year. PUB was one of our big corporate sponsors at this year's event, and theirs was held at HEB and was also very well attended. Baila en la Calle, which was our midpoint weigh-in, which also highlighted our last year's second place winner, Ms. D with Valley Regional, was also here at the midpoint weigh-in. Family activities they hosted by Su Clínica Familiar was very popular as well, and Valley Regional hosted the family jump rope, which was also an event that was a big part of their curriculum, as they've worked every year with schools to host those kind of events with BISD. And in what we're seeing is every year that we see clubs who have traditionally had events, whether it be a 5K or a run of some sort, or a walk, or a bicycling event, or a fitness event, are joining forces with us to highlight many of these synergistic outcomes. Next. Many of these events were free. These just highlight a few of the ones that we had. Most popular for us have always been the dancing events. The karate classes, which were held during the year, were really good. Next. Our midpoint weigh-in in La Baila en la Calle, Hannah Curley from NBC's. This is a photo of her. She was very interactive with our citizens who showed up, and she was more than willing to offer any of her experiences during her appearance at the Biggest Loser Season 11. The event, as you may recall, was the largest Zumbatomic. The city did break, again, this year's Zumbatomic event was a world-breaking event. Kids and adults of all ages participated in this attempt, and it was also the final weigh-in for our Biggest Loser event. These are some of the photos of the kids out there and some of the instructors having a great time. We added a few events this year, which was competition between schools. In addition to attempting a record, we had this friendly competition between public, charter, and private schools. Prizes were awarded to the top 3 elementary and secondary schools, and the winners of the school competitions were as follow. At the elementary level, we had Champion Elementary, Keller Elementary, and a private school, Episcopal Day School. At the secondary level, we had Browns Early College High School, Manzano Middle School, and Living Way Christian School. And I want to say, when we went out there to give the trophies, the staff and kids for the classrooms were very excited to have participated. Of course, this is a picture of some of our commissioners at the event. Thank you for being at the event and having a good time out there. Next.
It's embarrassing.
Speak for yourself,
This last slide, I just want to say the winners. I'll mention them by name. Mr. Mark Road, individual male winner. Second place, Mr. Luis Leal, and third place, Frank Hernandez. Individual female winners, Pamela Ramirez. Second place, Marisa Leal. Third place, Maria G. Gonzalez. Small group, first team was called Supersized, which got first place. The Cadenas, second place, and third place was the Earth Girls. With the large group category, we had Castañeda. We had a lot of BISD teams as well, and this is Castañeda Elementary Crusaders. Second, Walking Owls, and third, Delgadinas, the PJD. Next. We're looking forward to next year's event. We want to thank all of our sponsors for this year, especially our gold level sponsors, which was many of the city departments participated, management, many of yourselves took the time to attend the event. Charlie Clark Nissan, HEB, Capio Anfields, they were all great sponsors, silver sponsors, and we're already making plans for next year's event. But I just wanted to report the success and looking forward to a great year.
Thank you very much, Art.
Thank you.
Good work.
Thank you. It's a great event.
Consent agenda items A through B.
Entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Seconds.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Boards and commissions, item 6, consideration and action to appoint or reappoint 5 members and 4 alternates to the Board of Adjustments.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Commission. The Board of Adjustment was created by the City's zoning ordinance number 235. It consists of 5 members, 4 alternates. Each member shall be appointed for a term of 2 years. Purpose of the committee is to hear and decide appeals, special exceptions, and variances. Meeting time, place, first Wednesday of each month at 6 p.m. at this city chambers. A quorum consists of 4 voting members, and it's up to the City Commission to appoint the members or reappoint.
I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Rafael Chacon. I know he's an alternate, but I'd like to make him a permanent position because I know we have some members here who have served at least 15 years. So I'd like to make him a permanent.
Okay. For a regular member?
Yes.
Is there a second for that?
I'll second.
All those in, are we going to do this wholesale, or are we going to do it? In other words, if I look up there, District 1 has 2 members, 2, 3, would now have Rafael Chacon, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody's going to be totally represented, and I think that's a good thing.
I would like, if someone needs to replace anyone up there, I thank Mr. Joe Wallace for his service, but he's been on that board for 15 years, and he serves on another very important board that requires a lot of his time as well.
But he is allowed 2 boards, and he did express the want to continue on here. And this board hasn't met regularly in the last 2 years, maybe 3 years.
The Board of Adjustment?
Yes, sir.
No, we meet every month,
Every
Commissioner.
month.
We have, matter of fact, we have a meeting tomorrow.
Okay, but in the past?
In the past, there was a time frame for at least 2 years. That's
Yes, sir.
right. You're right.
Well,
This is the dates that when each member started, they were appointed. There's a list right there. For Ruben Herrera does no longer want to be a member on that board. And that's the only one that he did, when we called him, he does not want to be a part of the board.
I had somebody interested that didn't get their application in.
Well, now, how long are these fellows, or people appointed for?
For 2 years. Mayor.
2 years?
2 years.
Okay. Now, could I go back to the previous slide? Okay, so can you, someone kind of scratch out Raul Marquez and put Rafael Chacon on top? Is that, is that what we could,
That way we can see what we're
that way
doing.
we can see what we got?
And Ruben Herrera's no longer serving, right?
Well, he doesn't want to serve
He
anymore.
doesn't want to serve anymore.
And so Ruben Herrera,
You can't write on that.
and Evaristo, is this all the people that you've got applications for?
Correct.
Okay.
You have
So-
4
so-
applications?
So if we wanted to, well, there's another Ruben Herrera who's a present member who's going to be off. He doesn't want to serve anymore, but we have 3 alternates, right?
We have 4 alternates, which is Mike
Now, we're going to
Garza.
move Chacon up to
Oh, okay, yeah.
regular member.
regular member.
Evaristo, is Mr. Tortea willing to continue to serve? Ignacio Tortea?
We didn't get on the, Mr. Tortea, John Kinch, and Mike Garza. We did call them, and we never got
No response?
no response from them, and they didn't come to the office and fill up the application. But we did call them several times, you know, that they needed to come by the office and apply. They didn't tell us they didn't want to serve. They just didn't come by to apply.
Do they regularly attend the meetings? Are there any?
Yes, they do.
They do, okay.
They do.
I'm just thinking that, Commissioners, is that we need to have one more from the alternates up to the top.
I think so too.
I can't see who they are.
You can't really see.
I know,
Can't
I'm
really
going to
see.
wait till see if, are you going to get any clearer than that?
back, Yoli?
Go back to the other one, then, if it's kind of hard to deal with. Okay.
And who were the alternates that were willing to be reappointed so that we can move one of them up?
Well, Mike Garza, John Kinch, and Joyce Brown.
I'd make a
They
motion to
They
move
didn't
up
fill
to-
out the application, but they didn't say they didn't want to participate.
Goes on that board.
Okay.
But I think we should maybe consider
Joyce, because there's no group.
tabling.
Table?
What I'm saying to you guys, I think you've got either Joyce Brown or John Kinch, both of which have been, you know,
Joyce or John, one of the two?
huh?
Either Joyce or John.
And I would
say-
does somebody want to make a move Joyce up
Motion
to,
to appoint
to replace
Joyce.
Ruben Herrera?
Motion to appoint Joyce Brown.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now you've got a slate of Joyce Brown, Joe Wallace Garcia, Donald De Leon, Nacho Tortea, and Rafael Chacon as your members. And then you have Mike Garza and John Kinch as alternates. Do
We
I hear?
had to make a motion to reappoint De Leon and Nacho, correct?
Okay.
I was just saying, we do the whole slate at the same time. That would be your whole slate,
Okay.
okay? Was that okay with everybody?
So you're going to make a motion to put that slate.
Put that slate in as your regular members, and the two alternates would be John Kinch and Mike Garza. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to do that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Evaristo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 7, consideration and action to appoint 2 new members to the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation.
Good afternoon. My name is Rachel. Let me introduce myself. I'm the new director for BCIC.
Get the microphone.
It's a little bit closer. Can you guys hear me? The BCIC board consists of 7 members. Each is appointed for 2-year terms. The 2 members that are up for reappointment that we need to fill are no longer eligible for reappointment. They've served both the maximum years. The 2 members are William Garza and Carlo Hernandez.
That need to be replaced.
How
Those
many
two.
need, two persons, and those would be replaced would be William Garza and Carlo Hernandez?
The first 2.
Okay, who are our applicants?
How many applicants do we have?
We have 8. We have Mr. David P. Willis from District 3, Jonathan Garcia from District 3, Laura Arroyo Manel from District 3, Ruben Abel from District 3, Bertha Garza from District 2, Chief Carlos Garcia Sr. from District 2, Elizabeth Valdez Garza from District 2, Julia M. De La Garza from District 3, and Larry M. Holman from District 4.
Is there any way we can put it up on the
There's one
screen? up
Yeah,
there?
Larry should be struck because he wants another board.
Frank is missing from that list.
And Frank, yeah, she probably just missed it, but it's there.
Okay, so can I make a motion to appoint Frank Wood?
But, I mean, just a second, let me make sure we know.
That's a
God,
little-
what about the resolution?
So you need 2 members, is that correct?
That's
Rachel?
correct. We need 2.
Okay. I can't
Can't
make,
really see it.
Do they have copies of the applications up there?
anyway,
You want another copy, Mayor?
well, I think so that,
For all of
we can,
us.
yeah, you can pass it around, take a
I don't
look
like
at it.
spreading things around.
No, but you can go back to the way they did it. Go back to the old one and write it in there. That was better.
District 2 didn't
To
have any
keep the
representation.
representation evenly distributed, it should be 1 from District 2 and 1 from District 3.
Okay, and who's from
Who's
District
from
2?
District 2?
That's
Repeat the names, Rachel, from District 2.
Name the ones out of District 2.
Including Frank Wood.
Actually, you guys have my list, so I need my list.
So District 2 is Berta Garza, Chief Carlos Garcia Sr., Liz Valadez Garza, and Frank Wood. And I would like to make a motion to appoint Frank Wood to represent District 2.
Okay. Do we have a second on that one?
Second.
And
Second?
well, just before we take the vote, we verified that none of these people, there's a conflict with other boards and stuff. We've done that, correct?
I'm not sure if they have been properly vetted by City
I don't believe
Secretary.
that Mr.
Lawyer
Wood
over
has any
there.
other board membership. Mr. Wood does not have a second.
Mr. Wood is not a member of any board.
No, I'm just not talking about him, everybody in general, that we've cross-referenced that they're not serving on more than one board, or they're not employed by the city and wanting to be on a board. That kind of,
None of them are employed by the city.
Okay, I've got a motion on the floor and a second for the appointment of Frank Wood out of District Number 2
Yes.
for this particular board. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now District 3 is another
3.
one? District,
Okay.
that's your,
I'll make a motion to appoint Ruben Obel.
okay.
who do we have from District 3?
We have David Willis, Jonathan Garcia, Laura Miniel, and Ruben Obel.
Okay.
Second.
And Julia De La Garza.
Okay, well, there's a motion and a second on, I'm sorry.
Ruben Obel.
Rubel. All those in favor say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Rachel. Okay, I think the next one is Capital Improvement Advisory.
And there were no applications submitted for that one. Do you have any applications, Ben?
Honorable Mayor and City Commission, tonight.
You're looking for 2 members? How many
Yes.
applicants do you have?
I have no applicants, Mayor.
You have no applications?
No.
I suggest we table this one then. We have no applications?
We have reappointments? People want to be reappointed?
Or
Which one's this one for?
Let me just briefly mention what this committee does. This committee works closely with the Public Utilities Board to set the impact fee rate that we will be charging for new developments in the city of Brownsville. They meet to set the impact fee and give updates to the City Commission. We're getting ready to give a report to the City Commission. With when this ordinance was written on the impact fee for this commission, there's some criteria that's very important. Basically, 3 members have to represent the building industry, the real estate industry, and the building industry, real estate, and development industry. And there's also has to be a member of the ETJ. The purpose for that is that the Planning and Zoning Commission approves plats in the ETJ. So they have to pay an impact fee. So that's why it's important that we have members that meet that criteria. Secondly, because in the ordinance itself, it says no meeting can be held till those 3 representatives of those industries are on that committee. I had prepared a little list for you just to go over, similar to the one on the screen. But basically, you have your members, and also this ordinance didn't put terms, they have indefinite terms. That means the commission at any time can replace anybody. But I also put the primary business because that's, as I mentioned, there's qualifications for this commission. In essence, what we were looking for were 2 members because we were concerned that we did not have the 3 industry representatives. Because when Mr. Betancourt and Karen Ballard came in, they came in as representing the development industry. But their primary business now is basically government because Mr. Ballard works for the court system, and Mr. Betancourt, as you may know, he is our county treasurer. So, I mean, that's what we have tonight. We can table it. We're not ready to meet now, but we are getting ready to meet. So we can come back with you if you choose to do so. If not, we can retain the same members because we do have 3 representatives meeting the ordinance, which is Ms. Leanne Greer, a multifamily housing owner, Joe de la Fuente, real estate business, Mark Esparza, also in the real estate business, and Mr. Victor Alvarez, he's our ETJ representative, also the ETJ representative in the Planning and Zoning Commission Board, which has that same criteria. And Mr. Betancourt also serves, as well as you may know, on the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. So that's what we could table, and then with your direction, I can come back, or just table indefinitely.
Well, I would like to make a motion to table only because I would like to have the opportunity to recruit people to be on that particular board. That was one of them, and the other reason would be if you can forward us what the criteria is to have the members be on that particular board.
Yes, of course, it will be the criteria here. We'll forward that to you.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mr. Kavler, did we ever create that master list of all the vacancies for every board and commission and post it?
The number of vacancies on the boards is listed on the webpage.
All the vacancies?
Right. And at any time, we have a binder that has all the boards and their information, as well as an attachment of the ordinance or resolution that created it. And we have a copy of the board appointment policy on the website as well.
Can we get Bill Young to write up a press release so that he can forward to media? Maybe they can write up an article on all our vacancies.
Okay,
drum
we'll
up
do
some
that.
interest.
Yes, ma'am. If you like, we'll get you a copy of the book, or you can just refer to the website as well.
No, I just I know, I just want to be able to let the general public know that we have all these vacancies and that there are plenty of people out there willing to serve, and they just need to be made aware of what vacancies are available.
Okay, we're doing that on the website right now, but we'll intensify.
Although we're having a lot more applications
We
than
are.
before,
Yes,
which
we
is
are.
good. I laud the community for doing that, and I laud the administration for making sure that we're getting all these applications in. I think it's a good process, so keep it up.
Mayor, not only do we have the number of vacancies on each board, but as you scroll down, the information on each board that the city has is listed there so that prospective applicants can look at that board and determine if that's something that they want to do. And further on down, we have the board appointment policy and the application form for them as well.
Yeah, no, I've seen it, well, I'm the old guy, I need the hard copy, so.
Well, yeah, we sent you
I've
some
got
by
one.
email.
Anyway, number 9,
Number 9, consideration and action to appoint 2 members to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Honorable Mayor and City Commission, these 2 appointments, one is Mr. Mike Salinas. He's an attorney. He would like to continue to serve. He told me this afternoon he has submitted his paperwork to City Secretary. Second one, Mr. Javier Reina has resigned. He does not want to serve anymore, so you do have that slot available to appoint somebody new, or if you want to reappoint again Mr. Salinas or somebody new as well. The
Now,
plan-
I'm sorry, this one, on the planning and zoning, you had a lot of applications, no?
That's correct, yes, Mayor. There's very good candidates.
No, Estela,
Yes,
there's
sir.
some errors, and I think I had brought it up last time. Mr. Troy Whittemore is under Commissioner Triani A, and actually, he's my appointment.
Okay, we
That's
can change
correct,
that, that's not a problem.
Well, I think we've changed all those issues, as long as all the districts are, I don't know that we're going to individual appointments anymore. Anyway, did you put a list out there of all the guys that have applied somewhere? I mean, I've got the applications here somewhere, but I'm just saying, did you,
I don't think I got the applications.
Mine says planning and zoning, but there's
I didn't get any. Can you give us a list of who applied?
You see, my understanding was that people would submit into the website, and many people do not claim what committee they want to be on. They just want to serve in a committee. So when we developed the website, I thought that was going to be the understanding, that people would submit their names and then we would review them all for their appointment. We didn't prepare a planning and zoning only list right now.
So there was no applications for the planning and zoning then?
No, there was a lot.
There are a lot.
Because I know I had sent, several people had applied, and I don't see their names on there.
Well, you do have a list.
I sent the applications by email to each commissioner.
Okay, but do you have something that we can look at right now?
She's making some copies.
I think
This
for
machine
future
ran out of
reference,
ink, so they have
guys,
to go to the other one.
Estela, just tell them, in other words, if we can have something on the overhead so that we can kind of look at it. I mean, I've got the hard copy of the applications here, but what would be nice to have is like an index to say, here's all the applications, whether, alphabetically.
By board?
And, yeah, if we could do that so that we can take a look at it when we're doing this. Because I don't know how many applications we have in here.
And let me go over them.
Thank you.
Ernesto Gutierrez,
Can I see your original?
he works for Pemesa. He's the vice president. Abraham Delansky. Lorraine Whitten. Luis de la Garza.
Do we have the districts that they're from? If I do, I'm missing them somewhere.
Should say.
I think there's one missing.
Ernesto Gutierrez is from Commissioner Zamora, District 3.
District 3?
Yes. Yes.
I know that Craig Grove had applied, and I don't see it here.
Greg Grove? Yes, I saw his applicant on the website. But I think they listed him in the Board of Adjustments.
Oh.
Okay, Mr. Galansky, what district is that?
Mine.
Mr. Galansky unfortunately put his business address, not his home. I do not know where he lives.
His business is in District 4.
Okay.
And Mr. Javier Reina out of District 1,
No, see, that was...
resigned.
He was District 2, he was Charlie's.
Yeah, he has resigned.
Mr. Medina, as far as Diana Clow, I understand she had several absences. Has she started attending the meetings?
Oh, no, she's attending well now. Yes.
She is? Okay.
Yes.
I have a question on Lorraine Whitehead. Where it says name of the board that you wish to serve on, it says Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation. It doesn't say.
Well, I think she was open to any, I think.
Was she?
Yes.
Okay.
But she wanted that as her first choice, but she put in there any area.
Okay.
and Luis de la Garza, what,
Luis de la Garza,
That's District 4.
District 4, Stovall.
I don't see anybody from District 2.
can we go back to the overall?
Yes.
I do like Ernesto Gutierrez.
There were some other applications that were primarily like Lorraine's, that they had listed a particular board, but I know in their application, they also listed other areas of interest that they would be
A couple
open.
of people do.
We're not putting them into the other,
I believe we are, we're putting them into different, we're making an extra copy.
And just to make an observation, what we have here is we have 1 and 4 that are not represented, and the 2 people that are 1 from 1 is Abraham Galansky, and the 1 from 4 would be Luis de la Garza.
Yeah, like I said, Mayor, there's some errors there. I have a representative for District 1, it's Mr. Troy Whittemore. It's labeled under Commissioner Triani, but I was the one that appointed him.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out, yeah, what districts we're talking about. So we have 1 from 1 already.
Yes, sir.
But we don't have a from number 4.
Or B.
Are those districts indicating the place that the person lives or the commissioner that
commissioner
appointed
that
them?
appointed.
Okay, well then that's not, we're trying
Accurate.
to,
There
we're
it
trying to see
says-
where they live, right?
Right.
So those numbers are not accurate.
because that's going based on the commissioner that appointed.
Atkinson on District 1, and that's
That-
District 2,
Yeah, that district indicates which commissioner appointed that person. It does not indicate where that person lives.
You're right.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, if we could go by the protocol, but I don't see anything here, I mean, unless somebody tells me, is anybody else from district number 4?
How would we know where? I don't
The
know where they live.
applications list what district they live in, pretty much.
No, but on the ones that are
I know, what I'm
already
saying
on
is that
there.
any one of the other ones on district number 4. If not, I think it would be appropriate to see if we can get a member from each, where they live.
Yeah.
John, would you make a motion on that one?
Well, I know Luis, I didn't know he had applied, but I'm comfortable in making a motion to
Okay.
appoint him.
Well, yeah, but first we need to make sure that we have the right
I know,
district
but by the
representation.
time we get through this process,
We're
instead
never
of...
going to finish.
Yeah, we'll never finish. So there's a motion for Luis de la Garza.
I'll second.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. And you're telling us that Miguel Salinas would like to continue?
Will I continue to
Would
serve?
like to continue, and he's done a good job as a
Yes.
chairperson.
Yes.
Very good job.
So I would entertain a motion for that one.
I think Dr. Gowan, on there, B doesn't have an appointment.
Do you know which district he lives in?
He lives in Commissioner Villarreal's district.
So he's District 4 as well?
But you're at large.
I don't care what I am. I want to know where the person lives.
Lorraine is on District 3. She would be a new one. She's a new applicant, and she's from District 3.
You see, I think what we're trying to do, Ben, and we can abstain and get your next one. The next time, we don't really care who appointed who.
Exactly.
We need to figure out what district they come from, and so if you guys would, go ahead and amend
Prepare it that
whatever
way.
these things are, and we can continue, because otherwise we'll be here all night long. And we can go on to the next issue, and we'll leave one
Let's table
appointment for
that.
next time, okay?
We'll do that chart.
Thank you.
Item 10, consideration and action to appoint or reappoint 4 members to the Parks Advisory Committee.
Honorable Mayor, Commissioners, I may be in the same position because I'm not sure which district the folks are from that are applying for this, but to give you an idea, for the Parks Advisory Board, we have 4 members whose terms have expired. Mariano Bean Ayala, who has requested not to be reappointed. Mary Hagee, who would like to be reappointed. Rosalio Rosales, who would also like to be reappointed. And then Alfredo Garcia has expired and has asked not to be reappointed. In addition to that, there are 2 more. We have applications from both of the members that have expressed an interest in reapplying. We also have 2 additional applications, one from Jerry Hatley and one from Anissa Gonzalez.
I would like to make a motion on Mr. Hatley to be appointed as one of them.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Anissa, I'd like to make a motion to appoint, there you go, Anissa Gonzalez to the Parks Board.
Second.
Mayor, I'd like to
All those in favor?
reappoint, my appointment, Mr. Leo Rosales.
Mr. Commissioner, do you realize we're not doing any appointments by commissioners? Do you not understand something here?
Okay, so I'll appoint Leo Rosales.
Well, there was a motion and there was a second, so I guess we have to take a
That's
It was
vote.
approved.
All those in favor of
Anissa
Anissa.
Gonzalez?
anything, okay?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I'd like to reappoint Mr. Leo Rosales.
It will not be a reappointment, Mr. Commissioner. I wish you would understand.
I'm sorry?
It's going to be, we're not going back to the old system.
Well, then, just
It's
word
just
it.
going to be appointments.
He's a current member, Mayor, so it would, in essence, be a reappointment because he is a serving member.
Okay.
Whether it's my district or not, he is a serving
Okay.
member.
All right.
So he would be a
All right,
reappointment.
all right.
So I'd like to appoint, if language is the problem, I'd like to appoint Leo Rosales. How's that?
Do I hear a second?
He's a...
Motion fails for lack of a second. All right. Any other motions?
Are there any other applicants?
Those are the only applications I have. The additional thing that I'd like to point out is these are 3-year terms, and so you'll notice that the terms expired. For instance, Mr. Ayala's term expired in 2011, so the terms that you're appointing these people to are 3 years from that date. So whoever takes Mr. Ayala's place on the committee technically then has about 2 years left in his term, so we'll need to know who's filling that particular space.
Well, how do we determine that?
You vote.
Why don't we come back and whatever else is left and try to go back to the system of trying to figure out what districts they are so we have adequate representation from every district? How about that?
I like that.
And can I
Whatever the
suggest that
commission
on the
prefers.
public service application, that there be a box that says what district they live in? Because I don't know we don't know the
Absolutely.
addresses, so that we can readily see
always
which
been the
district they live in.
Maybe like on the application, like in the corner of
Yeah.
the larger
The
box.
application in the tells you what
Yeah,
district
but
they
I
live
maybe,
in.
yeah, it's
It's
on,
always
the-
hard for
but
me to-
towards the top.
You need to redo the application.
Just like so we can know where to file them faster.
And then obviously, we'll bring a summary sheet of each of those to you like you've requested. It'll show districts, et cetera, et cetera.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
Number 11, Estela?
Sir?
Number 11?
Number 11, public hearing and action on first reading of ordinance number 2012-1555 to authorize the city manager to abandon and close a portion of a 15-foot utility easement located at Lot 1 of Lopez High School subdivision in exchange for retaining a utility easement within the same property.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Commission. The portion of the 15-feet utility easement to be abandoned is presently located under the existing building. All utilities companies have been contacted and no utilities exist within this 15-feet easement. Approval to abandon the portion of the easement in exchange for a new easement within the same property is recommended.
Are we going to get a clearer picture of that one? Thank you.
Okay, upon the submittal of the permit, we did receive an official document that shows, that didn't show an easement, and now they're saying that there is an easement on that, and that's why, that's the reason we're here, to just relocate the lines on that 15 feet part of that easement. That's all they're doing.
And this is a public hearing. Anyone else? Any comment? I'll entertain a motion to,
Wait, to relocate what lines?
What lines do you have?
I missed it, sorry.
This is Eduardo Santillan with the Engineering Department. There are no lines. Basically, we're just realigning the existing easement because the easement is under a building. So we're just going around the building with a proposed easement. And I have an exhibit that I can show you if you want.
Can you put it on the screen?
For some reason, it's not coming out. Yes.
Staff recommends approval.
That's the one that's in our folder.
I think I already started.
I'm sorry, I'm a visual.
As you can see on the exhibit, it shows the existing easement under the building. There are no utilities, so we can have access to the proposed, to the existing easement with a new alignment. We're just doing a realignment. So we go around the building.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to close
approve.
public hearing?
Oh, I'm sorry, motion to close public hearing.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 12, public hearing and action on resolution number 2012-034 to authorize the filing of an application and execution of grant agreements with the Federal Transit Administration and Operating Administration of the United States Department of Transportation for federal transportation assistance authorized by 49 U.S.C. Chapter 53, Title 23 of the United States Code.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Commissioners. This presentation is to discuss the Urbanized Area Formula Grant Program and the city's allocation for fiscal year 2012. This grant application is a yearly requirement for the city to access its federal grant funds for public transportation. This is not a competitive grant. These funds are appropriated by Congress on an annual basis. These funds are then allocated by the Federal Transit Administration to urbanized areas according to various formulas and allocations, and the allocations are published in the Federal Register. As of today, the Federal Transit Administration has published 2 partial apportionment notices. This year, the city's federal apportionment is estimated, based on the last notice, to be approximately $3,014,496. The program of projects being proposed include 3 capital projects, and technically 2 of these capital projects, preventive maintenance and fuel as capital maintenance, are operating expenses. However, we would like to take advantage of the federal rule that allows these expenses to be charged to the grant as capital projects as an 80-20 federal local match. Now, fuel as capital is something new that came in on this Federal Register, so that's something that had not been done before. This is something that's being allowed for us to do this year. The third capital project is for eligible construction costs for the La Plaza at Brownsville Multimodal Terminal. On April 16, 2012, the FTA issued a letter of no prejudice to the City of Brownsville, permitting the city to incur construction costs on the multimodal terminal using non-federal resources, with the understanding that the costs incurred after the letter was issued may be reimbursable as eligible expenses or eligible for credit towards the local matching share of if the project should be approved for federal funds at a later date. Portions of the construction of the completed terminal were undertaken in advance of the availability of federal funds, so we have included this in our program of projects to for those expenses. Okay. Finally, the proposal includes our operating assistance. Operating assistance requires a 50% non-federal match of the net project cost. We are proposing to allocate $1,090,387 in federal funds, which will be matched by the city for the same amount. These funds can be carried over for up to 3 years. Now, this table shows the entire proposed programs of projects. The city's contribution will be $1,571,414, which will be matched by $3,014,496 in federal funds. The city's contributions will come from the Public Transit Fund and was already included in the fiscal year 2012 budget. A public hearing notice that included the proposed program of projects was published in the legal notice portion of the classified ads section of the Brownsville Herald on Sunday, May 20th, 2012. And at this point, we may open the public hearing to receive comments and to answer any questions.
It's a public hearing. Any comments from the public or the commissioners?
Move to close public hearing?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Move to approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Norma.
Item 13, public hearing and action on first reading of ordinance number 235-2012-017 to rezone from dwelling Z classification to light commercial G classification for lots 229 through 233 out of Valley Sound Addition located at Old Port Isabel Road and FM 511.
Honorable Mayor and City Commission, the property shaded in red, the Planning and Zoning Commission voted unanimously to approve this to you. It'll be for a warehouse. It's off Port Isabel Road at the outskirts of the city where city limits almost end. This is a public hearing.
What is around there?
Basically, Old Port Isabel Road, Commissioners, you're going up north here and it continues outside the city. Here you have the mobile home community, but basically it's vacant land, cemetery. That's all you have.
Is that Winter Haven?
Winter Haven.
Winter
Yes.
Haven.
Okay.
What are they going to, do you know what they're going to keep in the warehouse?
It'll be truck parts, truck stop type of business.
Truck stop?
Yes.
So are we going to have heavy industrial traffic through there? Big trucks, 18-wheelers? What are we looking at?
It'll be 18-wheelers, yes.
Do you know how many phone calls I'll get from Winter Haven?
Does that street have that capacity to take that?
Yes.
That kind of traffic?
Isn't that right, Ben, isn't that right across the street from the new Cascade Park that the Drainage
Yes.
District is building?
The Cascade Park, Commissioner, it's in the proximity, but it's in this part of the community here.
Any
No, there
public
was no
comment?
protest or nobody really attended. Nobody attended a public hearing.
Were they notified?
Oh yes, definitely. People surrounding this part within 200 feet were notified. Yes.
Winter Haven was notified?
Yes.
They're very vocal.
Why don't
I'm
you
surprised.
table it and get with them on it?
Well, because they're not there right now.
Oh, that's true.
We do have a consent item, so that's also technically a public hearing if it pulls out a consent. So you can table if you wish and call your constituents, or approve or deny, and then you still have if it denies, well, it stops, but if you approve, we do have a consent item as well next meeting.
I think you should table it and talk to them.
Okay, public hearing. I hear a motion to close public hearing.
Motion to close?
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we have an action item, or whatever it is that
Melissa?
is the pleasure of the commission.
I don't know. My concern is that the residents of Winter Haven, I know some of them, they're not here. And
Well,
so,
we can entertain any
I
motion.
move the table.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. It will be tabled then.
Item 14, public hearing and action on first reading of ordinance number 235-2012-602-CU, an ordinance allowing a conditional use permit to sell on-premises alcohol for Lot 16, Block 8 of Wynwood subdivision located at 400 East Alton Boulevard.
Honorable Mayor and City Commissioner, this is a conditional use permit to allow a wet restaurant on the property shaded in red here. You have the Wynwood subdivision, you have Alton Glore, you have a brand-new medical clinic being constructed here. This is a Wingstop restaurant, and they would like to sell alcoholic beverages with the food. So the Planning and Zoning Commission voted to recommend this application to you.
Okay, any public comments? Public hearing?
Motion to close public hearing?
second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Public hearing is closed. Any action
Motion to
item?
approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Ben, can I ask one question about the previous one with the truck stop? Were the people at the Drainage District notified also? Because I know that Cascade Park's going to be full of birds and such, and I'm not sure
No,
they...
I'm sure they were, Commissioner, because we get the names from our tax roll. It does not matter if they're inside or outside the city, they get a notice. So I will confirm that. I'm sure they did, but I will confirm that with you
Because that's a
tomorrow.
Texas Parks and Wildlife project. I just...
Okay. Estella, do we have any public comment?
No public comments, Mayor.
No public comment. Okay.
We go to action
Action item number
items.
16.
Item 16, consideration and action to adopt budget amendment resolution number 2012-032 to amend the general fund revenues and expenditures budget, to amend the budget for additional expenditures in the non-bonded debt service fund, landfill tipping fee increase fund, airport fund, and public transit fund, and to transfer funds from the workers' compensation fund to the general fund.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Commission, we're going to have Mr. Lupe Granado, the Assistant Finance Director, make this presentation.
Honorable Mayor, members of the Commission, my name is Lupe Granado, Assistant Finance Director. I'll briefly go over a presentation that was prepared by Finance Department before going over the amendment. Before we give you the amendments, there's some concerns that we want to just be put before the Commission. City's general fund and assigned fund balance declined $880,000 for fiscal year 2011. That's or 12.47% in reserves, as opposed to our unassigned fund balance policy, which calls for at least 50% reserve. The unassigned fund balance should have been at $14,278,000 in order to maintain the 15% reserve. The fund balance policy also states that deficiency resulting in the minimum fund balance between 10 and 15% shall be replenished within 3 years. Certain economic indicators such as sales tax, revenues, building permits, unemployment rates, and property tax rolls indicates the city has not completely recovered from the 2008 fall recession. Right here we have a fund balance per year, which indicates that in 2011 we had a unassigned fund balance of 12.47%. Next schedules a fund balance summary. Out of the $16,675,000 total fund balance, $4,802,199 is reserved and cannot be used for any other commitments. The only thing that could be used is the unassigned fund balance, which was a decrease between fiscal year 2010 and 2011 in the amount of $880,000. Just a point of reference, 74.57% of the general fund balance is personnel. This percentage cost will increase with the 3% COLAs that will become effective October 2010 with the police and fire contract, or it's about a $1,100,000. If we continue to increase personal costs and not increase revenues to cover the additional costs, expenditures, there will be less funds available for other expenditures as maintenance and operation and capital needs. This is a sales tax revenue bar graph. Our budget is indicated in green. It's $24,725,000. It's a little bit above what last year's estimate, actual sales tax was collected, but it is not at the 2008 level. Building permits, we have the same period of time through the end of May 30th, we have a decrease in the valuation of $32,718,000. Building permits issued throughout the years, we have increased since 2008, from 2009, 10, 11, but we are definitely below the 2008 numbers. Unemployment rates for 2011 is 11.5%, which is an average through April, and for the unemployment rate for April is 11.9. These are the budget amendments that are presented for your consideration. The first four are increasing revenues based on the forecast that we have. We indicate there'll be a slight increase in the sales tax of $300,000. Bridge fund will also have an increase of $500,000. Surplus from Brownsville PUB, this is a cash transfer. We kind of estimated we might have an increase of $250,000. Fund 72 was a self-funded insurance for workman's comp. There's an excess of $200,000 that we proposed to bring back into general fund to cover these expenditure increases. The majority of these budget increases are for overtime, fuel, that's for police, fire, EMS, public works. On the overtime, directors have indicated that they need that overtime because overtime and fuel during the budget process last year were cut in order to meet our budget, to balance the budget. But it's indicated that we actually might have cut a little bit too much during the last year budget process. That's what they need these numbers. There are some capital type of purchases here for Parks Department, Traffic Department, couple of AC replacements for the Tapiz building and the Historic Brownsville Museum. Total net of this will be a decrease of $192,482, decrease to the general fund if this budget amendments get approved. Non-bonded debt, just covered note principals of $49,000. Landfill, also fuels and lubricants. The major one there is $615,030. That's to cover the contract with the SCS. They're the ones that contracted to engineering firm that's contracted in order to keep the landfill compliant with all the rules and regulations under the state.
Where are they from?
Excuse me?
Where are they from?
I don't know exactly.
Public Works.
Houston, or something?
Houston? Houston. When was the last time that contract came before the city commission? Before your time.
It got renewed in June or July. It came before city commission and got approved.
It got renewed before the city commission?
What was the term on it?
It was 3 year, it was a 2-year contract and up to about 3 years, I believe.
I don't remember.
Thank you.
That's good.
Okay.
Continue on next page, we have the airport fund. This is general fund transfers money into the general fund to cover the operating loss. So they are increasing the rental revenues thereby where we are decreasing the general fund transfer to $265,000. Public transit is also the same situation where it's overtime and fuels were under budget last year. They're needing these funds in order to cover their operational needs, and workman's comp is a transfer to general fund. This is a fund balance summary after budget amendments. If budget amendments get approved June 5th, beginning fund balance, $13,747,000. Budget revenues prior to June 5th, budget amendments, $88,206,000. Plus revenue amendments, if approved, of $1,250,000. Gives you a total budget revenues of $89,456. Amount available for budget amendments of $103,204,000. Less budgeted expenditures prior to this budget amendments, $90,719,757. If approved, budget amendment of $1,442,482. Total expenditures, $92,162,239. Estimated assigned fund balance at December 31st, 2012, $11,042,000. That's 11.9% of fund balance compared to the actual expenditures. The rest of the schedules here, which is sales tax comparison, it's a comparison of the month to date, comparing between 2011 and 2012. We have an increase, we're projecting an increase of about $300,000. Bridge fund, similar schedule, what we actually collected compared to the budget. And that concludes the presentation. You have any questions?
Very good. Any questions?
I move to adopt.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
There was a second.
Second? Okay, I'm sorry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm going to abstain.
Abstain? Okay. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Good presentation.
Thank you.
Item 17, consideration and action to adopt reimbursement resolution number 2012-033, expressing official intent to reimburse costs incurred to finance the city's portion of costs to relocate railroad tracks from the downtown area.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Commission, this is an item that has been talked about before regarding the need of additional monies to complete the project of the railroad relocation. We have been meeting with the county, Mr. Pete Sepulveda, with possibly getting an interlocal agreement regarding this particular item. The item that's being presented to you tonight, just as a safety net for us, just in case the city decides to advance money to the county from the general fund, this particular resolution will allow us that in the future, obviously, we issue a certificate of obligation. We will be able to have the general fund get reimbursed from the CO proceeds, because any expenditure that is done from this date forward will allow us to get reimbursed to the general fund from the CO proceeds. And this this item is not authorizing us. You're not authorizing to issue a CO. It just as a precaution that in case we start making payments to the county for some of the requests that they have made on the bridge relocation project, that will be covered, that the general fund could get reimbursed with the understanding we get a CO approved.
I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Pete.
Item 18, consideration and action on resolution number 2012-035 to renew and extend the Camille Players Incorporated ground lease on real property at Dean Porter Park.
Members of the commission, in 1964, the city leased to the Sams Foundation the ground on which the Camille Leitner Playhouse was eventually constructed. The Camille Players own the building, we own the land, and as part of the city's commitment to the arts and so forth, we have let them use the land at no charge, and we propose to let that continue. That's been that way since 1964. This would extend their ground lease for another 20 years till 2034, I think it is.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Item 19, consideration and action on resolution number 2012-036 to adopt Section 3 plan, the Section 3 plan to comply with 24 Code of CFR Part 135 of the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, Section 3.
Good evening, mayors, commissioner. I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce you to Brian Avila, who is Senior Program Manager for Community Development Division. And he'll give a very brief explanation about what Section 3 is, but basically, in a nutshell, the Rio Grande Valley entitlement communities have all come together to adopt a Section 3 plan so that we can move forward as a region to adopt this into our individual plans as a municipality. But he'll give a brief overview of what that is.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Section 3 was enacted back in 1968, and what it's supposed to do is to help low and very low income individuals or persons attain some type of training or work so that they could move out of basically what was Section 8 housing at the time. The program is monitored off and on by the federal government, depending on who's in the White House. And right now there's a very big emphasis on trying to make sure that we're trying to get all of these people who seem to be dependent on the government into the workforce and get them out there so they can pay regular taxes like the rest of us. So that's the basic push of what Section 3 is trying to do.
Okay.
Approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 20, consideration and action to award a term contract for delinquent ad valorem tax collection services for the City of Brownsville.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Commission, I would like to start off with a little bit of history regarding our tax collections. Way back in, I guess, 1982, the state of Texas mandated the establishment of a county-wide appraisal district at the beginning of that year, or fiscal year 1983. If I recall, that period was a rough period for us because when the appraisal district was created, they actually delivered the tax rolls 9 months late into the fiscal year. So I remember that those days when we had to go into the bank and borrow money because we didn't have any monies from the tax collections. Before 1983, the city had its own tax and appraisal and assessment office. At the start of fiscal year 1989, the Cameron County Tax Office, through an interlocal agreement between the city, began collecting all current and delinquent taxes for the city. As a result of this interlocal agreement between the county and the city eliminated its ad valorem tax collections office at the start of fiscal year 1989. With the elimination of this tax office, at that time we estimated that the savings to the city by eliminating the office, the tax office, saved about $160,000. The interlocal agreement between the Cameron County and the city authorized Cameron County through competitive proposals to contract with a law firm to collect delinquent property taxes for both the county and the city. It further stated that said law firm would have full authority to represent the city within the terms of the contract. For many years, this interlocal agreement stood between the county and the city. And of course, it proved to be very successful and mutually beneficial to both parties and to the taxpayers as well. This agreement made it easier for the taxpayer since each tax statement received by the taxpayer included amounts owed to the city as well as to Cameron County. The city-county tax collections interlocal agreement remained intact without any amendments until 2009. An amendment to the city-county interlocal agreement adopted on May 14, 2009 allowed the city to hire its own law firm to collect delinquent taxes from the ad valorem. Section 13, delinquent taxes of this is the interlocal agreement changes, delinquent taxes of the Cameron County City interlocal agreement, which was amended on May 14, 2009, allow the city to request competitive proposals from the various law firms to collect the city's delinquent ad valorem taxes. Through competitive proposals, the city awarded a 3-year contract in 2009 July to the firm of Linebarger. And this contract expires on June 30th of this year. There were 3 law firms that submitted proposals. They were Peña and Associates, the Linebarger firm, and Purdue Breton from the Edinburgh McAllen area. The 3 sealed proposals were received on 20th of April. The sealed proposals were reviewed and graded by an evaluation committee that consisted of several individuals, our internal auditor, Jose Chavez, our assistant city attorney, John Chelsea, our assistant finance director, Lupe Granado, Cameron County Tax Office Chief Deputy Jesse Garcia, and myself. Each evaluation committee member graded each proposal using the score sheet that follows this slide. Now, I may add that this contract does not cost the city of Brownsville a dime. Any delinquent property taxes that are collected by the law firm, there is an attorney fee that the property owner, the delinquent taxpayer pays, not us, not the city. So the city is not out of any of this. It's all coming from the taxpayer. The evaluation score sheet, we had 6 categories that we looked at, and they have a point range, a maximum point range. The first one is the overall cost of the city and taxpayers. Any cost above those set forth by the property tax code, which are payable to the firm, must be indicated. And we went through all of this: the tax collection experience, the capability of the firm, demonstratability, clarity, and quality proposals. All of this score sheet was included in the proposal so that the law firm would know how the committee was going to be grading each proposal. The evaluation committee then met on several dates, May 2nd, May 9th, to discuss the evaluation process as well as procedures, and to schedule interviews regarding the presentations by the 3 law firms. And all law firms made their presentations to the committee. And they were scheduled on the 14th of May. Then the evaluation committee met and submitted the score sheets on May 15th, and the score sheet follows. And based on what was submitted, what was presented to us, to the committee, it was a score sheet. We graded it, and the scores were listed at the very bottom, the average scores, and the highest score, according to the committee, was Linebarger with a 94.6%, followed by Purdue 89.8%, and Peña and Associates with a 74%, 73.8%. The reasons why the Linebarger scored highest points, well, we felt, and this is a committee that established has an established relationship with the city. It is expanded. It's a client base in Cameron County. Currently collects past due taxes for all entities that are being served by Cameron County Tax Office. Has a significant tax collection office and staff in Brownsville. Has a proven track record on collections and communications with taxpayer in the city. And of course, it was unanimous choice by the committees to, again, we recommend that the contract be awarded to Linebarger, Goggin, Blair, and Simpson.
Okay. Any questions, Mr. Commissioners? I'll entertain a motion. Oh, you go ahead, I'm sorry.
I have a comment. I remember 3 years ago, when Commissioner Gowan and I were first sworn in, that very day we had to make this very important decision on this very sought-after contract. And I expressed my concern that I didn't have the necessary backup and the proposals from each of those who had submitted a proposal to make an educated decision. And I'm concerned that we have some new commissioners here who don't have that backup, and I myself didn't have the backup on the other proposals that were submitted. So, I'm just expressing my frustration again that I feel like deja vu because I went through this before where I didn't have the information that I needed.
Did you request the proposals from the commissioner this time around?
Always requested. backup for the agenda. I have 2 pages to make this decision, and
Okay.
it's, for me, it's not enough.
Okay.
Any other comments?
Can I make a motion?
What, you said, Pete, that, you rate the companies based on their past performance?
Yes, we actually went a little further, and I can go into it. We have some information regarding the percentage collections of another firm, and actually their collections, and obviously it was from another, in other words, this is information that came from the county. County, by the way, collects all the taxes, really all the entities here in Brownsville, except maybe there are a few at the island that the school district in Port Isabel, I believe, collects their own. But the majority of the entities are actually collected by Cameron County, and all of the law firms, same law firm collects delinquent tax for most agencies. Actually, there's only 2 entities that request additional law firms, and that's school district and the city of Brownsville. All the others, like UTB, TSC, they're all, whatever the county selects, that's what they go for. But we did have an analysis as to there's another firm that was collecting property taxes from the delinquent taxes from the school district, and we noticed that the percentages that were being collected were a little bit lower than what the firm of Goggin had. So that was one of the decisions that we made. We want to look at what's the best thing for the taxpayer, and we want to obviously want the most collections and delinquencies. And so far, they've delivered the last few years. So, and again, it doesn't cost the city a single cent with this.
I just remember 3 years ago, all the firms came up and they did a presentation, an extensive presentation on their services and some history and references, and we just didn't get that this time, so I was wondering why it changed.
Well, we can certainly do it now. They're here, Commissioner. We can open it up there. I'm sure they can come and make a presentation, right? Now, we have until, the deadline is July 1st. We have another meeting, but that means that we go out for proposals again, or? We do have a committee. A committee is independent of anybody, and I feel very comfortable with our decision. Now, we do have some committee members here that if they want to talk. Mr. Josie or Mr. Granado?
I was on the committee, and I can tell you that every committee member did an awful lot of work going through the proposals and evaluating the folks that applied for it, and it was a unanimous decision that we recommended to this commission that we go with the Linebarger firm. Basically for the reasons that are outlined. They've been doing it for years. They're here in town, and they have a proven track record.
I have a question. So you're telling me that for the taxpayer, let's say they're delinquent or not, the smallest fee that would be incurred to them is by who?
Pardon me?
The smallest, okay, let's say somebody owes taxes.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the smallest fee? Which company pulls the smallest fee?
Well, the smallest percentage fee would be with Mr. Pena's firm. But the other thing to take into account is there are also court costs and other things that all taxpayers would have to pay. And I did a calculation, and I don't remember exactly how it came out, but at a certain point in time, because of the way the fixed costs were set up, the Linebarger firm at a 15% fee actually came out cheaper for the taxpayer.
15%. And what's the cap? There's a state statute or state law, right? There's
Yeah,
a
the
cap.
maximum they can charge is 20%.
20%.
So you're saying that Linebarger is better for the taxpayer?
Yeah, yes.
Well, for the city.
I think what you guys are looking at, you have 3 excellent law firms, and so what you do is the committee has to be able to assess this whole deal, is they've got a sliding scale, and whoever the point system kind of indicates, I think is what you guys, that's your recommendation, just based upon that.
That's correct.
But they're all good law firms. I mean,
I agree.
What we looked at, basically, the objective was which law firm can do the best job for the city of Brownsville.
It's how to maximize your recovery, that's all. Do I hear any motion, or? We're all kind of stuck?
Do we want to table it for the next meeting so we can get presentations?
Well, I do have a question. I do remember the presentations. Why not the presentations this time? Or why did we do the presentations last time but not this time?
I don't have an answer.
Just because.
I think part of it last time was the first time the city had gone out to hire its own tax collection lawyers.
Oh,
Previously,
okay.
under the contract,
I
we
didn't
just go
realize
along
that.
with the county.
Before that, the county did it
I
for
didn't
us. I mean,
realize
I am familiar with all the law firms, so I mean, and like
we
I
had,
said.
if memory serves me, we had 6 or 7 firms apply last time around. This time, just 3. And, you know, since we've gone through it once before, I think the committee felt a little bit more comfortable going through the process and making a recommendation.
Okay, well, Commission, what is your pleasure? Either have a motion or nothing happens. I guess we don't have a motion before us. Robert's Rules of Order, I guess we go on to the next item.
I make a motion to table. It seems like nobody's ready to make any motion
Okay.
whatsoever.
I'm ready to
for or
make a
against.
motion, it's just,
Well-
this commission needs to decide.
Well,
Well, there's a motion to table on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. The motion to table carries. So we'll table it for today. Thank you.
They can make the presentations next time around.
Yeah, Pete, I think you should get together with the commissioners that have some questions, and perhaps maybe the next time we do presentations, if that's what their wishes are. Okay. Number 21.
Item 21, consideration and action to award a contract for street paving and drainage improvements for Los Ebanos Boulevard.
Honorable Mayor, Commissioners, my name is Doro Garcia. I'm the Assistant City Engineer for the City of Brownsville. Our item on the agenda tonight is the street and paving drainage improvements to Los Ebanos from Boca Chica to Paredes Line Road. We have received 4 bids for this project, and we're recommending approval of this contract to the lowest responsive bidder, RM's Walsdorf, in the amount of $1,652,606. The contract has performed similar projects in the past in the city and has performed satisfactory.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
Second.
I have a motion to approve and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Item 22, consideration and action to award a contract for street paving and drainage improvements for West Madison Street.
On West Madison Street, we'll be reconstructing from Boca Chica Boulevard to Lakeside. We received 3 bids for this project. The lowest responsible bidder for this project was G&T Paving with a bid of $497,169. Once again, G&T has performed similar projects in the city and performed satisfactory. We're recommending approval for this project.
Would approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.